guys, it's Cara here. I'm back with another video for you guys. So I started this page to make a wreath and thought I'd bring you guys along. So the first thing I did was cut my page. So I drew 2 circles on my page in my Dina Wakely Ledger Journal and then cut round them to leave that what is now green ring. I then painted it green just in case any bits came poking through my flowers, so they were green rather than just the colour of the page. I don't mind the colour of the page, but I thought it'd look better if it was green poking through. Then what I did is I had a couple of bits of plain paper and I painted them using, so one page using 3 different pinks and one page using a couple of blues and like a teal colour. Just using like the smushing effect, using my fingers, basically dabbing it on here, there and everywhere. It really doesn't matter because once you've stamped on it, those colours will all blend in nicely. So don't be a perfectionist on your painting. I'll perhaps put that in another video at some point. But yeah, it's just easy. Paint your page anyhow you like and then stamp your stamps on there. These are some flower stamps from Paper Artsy, designed by Tracy Scott. And I just stamped those and some flowers and, the flowers and leaves. And she's got some like flower petal elements on the stamp sets as well. And they just help really nicely to build up that wreath. So I stamped them a whole page of pink, a whole page of the blues, and then sat and cut them out, which I really don't like doing, but it is worth it in the end when you get to build a lovely wreath. So I'm just basically looking where I want them, trying to fit them in a nice way, alternating them ish with, blues and the pinks so that it makes a nice visual for my page. Then once I've got them all stuck on, I grab my white fine liner pen, and the flower stamps have got some nice sort of dotted elements and some lines, just some extra bits and bobs that I do highlight with the white pen. So I do highlight at least one thing on each flower. And if the flowers are the same, like the big flowers, I highlight the same things on all of the big flowers in the wreath. And then on the leaves, I will highlight the same things. So just to keep that consistent. So I go around and do that. And then I also decide that I'd like some more random white marks. So in a minute, what you're going to see is me splattering my page. So I just grab my Staedtler Luma colour paint marker, activate that onto a piece of paper and then splatter that all over my wreath. Now it's at this point I realise I've stuck my flowers on the wrong side of the wreath, because now what was going to be the front of my wreath is actually that back part of my wreath. Now it's my journal, it doesn't really matter. I thought I might put a quote on this page, but actually because of the way I've done the wreath, I'm going to leave it this way round. So I was going to stick the wreath to the back page, but I decided to leave it free. So I'm just painting the back in exactly the same way as that extra page by using a very cheap makeup sponge and just sponging on, I think it's 3, might even be 4 different greens. And then again, you see that white paint pen coming in just to get some splatter on. Now I've got my gesso out and I'm just using this leafy stencil. Again, it's a Paper Artsy one by Tracy Scott. This is my absolute favourite leafy stencil. I do have another favourite which is by Dina Wakely, but I felt this one just felt like it was right for this page. Anyway, so I just do a few on the background just so it looks a bit nicer than the green background, give it that little bit more of interest. And then as you can see, I flip over to do the other big page on the other side of my wreath. I'm doing exactly the same, just with my sponge, smushing that on. I did slightly dampen the page first to help the paint flow. And then there's me doing the paint marker again with the splattering and again with my white stencil. So just making that all cohesive, just so it all ties in nicely together. And yeah, a little bit of interest on my page. I do then get some stamps out. Just a little tip, that there, what I'm doing, I stamped the image on and didn't like it, I smudged it. If you're quick enough, you can wipe that off with a baby wipe if your background is sealed, which mine is with the paint. So I've added a flower stamp, again, just around the edges, and then I've grabbed out a dotty stamp and a script stamp to just also add a little bit more interest. All the stamps are also Tracy Scott, so the flower stamps and the leaf stamps on the Wreath, the background stamps, the dotty stamp and the script stamp are all Tracy Scott, and the stencil is also Tracy Scott. So it's a big old Paper Artsy fanatic page here. So here you can see my close-ups. Again, as I said, it was meant to be the other way around, but I'm quite happy with how that turned out. If you've liked this, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel. It does help me to grow. I do go live here every Friday at 5 for your Friday Art Escape. So come and join me and give yourself a little boost to start the weekend by doing, or even just watching me doing, a little bit of art. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye-bye.